welcome it to Behind the Seams Dita.
Cheers, thank you.
Or Fisch, the artist.
Yeah, thanks.
So thank you so much for being involved in this whole collaboration.
No worries.
It's really exciting for us, our first one.
Yeah.
So just wanted to ask you a few questions. So you used to be a tradie.
Yep.
How does it feel to now be involved in the design of a work shirt?
It's pretty surreal because I think for me, you know, you never think you'd get to do something like this, especially kind of like the journey you go on. Like I've been on job sites and done all that type of stuff, and I've kind of grown and in the back of my mind it was always like I wanted to be a designer, I always wanted to be an artist, but I am from a rural place. I'm from Cairns in North Queensland, and it's for me to get here and have this, it's pretty surreal. It's pretty amazing to have the journey I've gone through and the people I've worked with, and to get here, I'm kind of blown away, really.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Very, very I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, and I guess it's something that, like, having worked on sites, that you're just like you would never have expected.
Yeah, and and it's like in saying that, it's like the people you work with on site and stuff like that, and and doing all that sort of stuff kind of like even reflects in the shirt as well. You know, it's a comedy, everything about it, the way we talk to each other and just playfulness and stuff like that. So completely, yeah.
Oh, I love that. I know Annika, our previous designer, got in touch with you.
Yeah.
But just run us through when Trademark got in touch with you about the opportunity. Had you heard of the company? Were you surprised?
Yeah. So basically, it was a year ago. COVID. We're in COVID, and I was I made a decision. I was going to really start pushing my art and really start to get into it a bit more. I've always drawn, and I've always doodled and done all that stuff, and it's just been a part of who I am ever since I was a child. And then they just reached out to me on my Instagram. I think Annika said that she liked some of my stuff, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was actually at the start. I was like, this is not real. I got the email, and I was like, I don't know if this is real. Like, I just thought it was like a scam. Yeah, like a spam email. I thought it was spam, and then they just all of a sudden, I was like, my missus said reply, and I'm like, okay, I'll reply.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I was in a bloody video chat with the team, and they're like, yeah, we really like your stuff, and can you do something for us?
Yeah.
And it just went from there. So I couldn't believe it. I was pretty blown away. And because I did know who Trademark were, because some of my mates and stuff like that, they're really big into they're really big into it. And even my missus, her friends, they're like, oh, they love all the stuff. So I remember I told some, I was like, recently I told some of my mates, and I was like, oh yeah, I was a barbecue the other weekend. I told them, and they were just like, nah. And then my mate just showed me a photo, and he's got like every single one of you guys' shirts.
Oh my god!
So he's like, he can't believe it. He's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
so it's pretty crazy.
So cool. Yeah, because I remember when we were when they were presenting like the design pitch for the season.
Yeah.
They're like, we're thinking of us collaboration, and they were like, what do we think of this guy's style? And everyone was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah,
and it's so trademark.
It was really funny, and then how it all came to. And I just remembered pretty much I sat down that weekend, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go for it, and just put it all in and put my start thinking about what I wanted to do. And then I remember I was like, oh shit, I don't know if they're going to like it. And then the next week when I showed it to them, they were just like, we love it. Like, don't change anything, And I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, can you tell us a little bit about each of the little illustrations?
So the way I approached it was because coming from a mental health aspect, I always believe we live in two kind of worlds. It's for some people it's different. Everyone's different, and a lot of the designs, especially with the bottle, you can see the bottle on there. It's place of calm and then a place of chaos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we're our own worst enemies, and really it's kind of like a lot of the work, even with the crocodile and all the kind of like mirages that are coming from it. That's nothing's always as we put so much hype on how bad something can be before we actually kind of embrace it and go through it. And stuff that you're worrying about now is not going to really be that much of a big deal in a few weeks, months, years in a time. Yeah. So we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves in the now, and that approaching things and kind of sticking through it and pushing through is and it looks nasty and looks scary or whatever, but we just got to keep going, because that's all we can really do. So with a lot of the work, that's where I kind of came from, a place of Australian animals and stuff like that. And it's kind of really about growth as well. I did a Major Mitchell cockatoo, and that one's about growth and kind of pushing through and and just kind of moving on and really embracing it. the things that happen to everyone. We all go through, we all have our battles and stuff like that. And it's really about growing and kind of like towards that angle. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I think when I saw it, I think I saw the theme of like the whole not everything is like always as bad as it seems. Like with like the crocodile with the eyelid in its mouth. It's like you sometimes got to like take the leap and something can look really scary or you can build it up in your head to be really scary, but it's not actually that bad. And so you kind of said like that your own story led you to that concept. Could you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I had like, as a young man, we all go through things, and I had two friends pass away from suicide, Michael and Josh, and they were really, Michael was, he was like just an awesome guy, and everyone loved him. Like not one person had one bad thing to say about him, and unfortunately he took his own life. And then later on, when I was in my early 20s, around 21, Josh, and he was a really good friend of mine as well. He passed away through suicide as well. So for me, it really does hit close to home. It's really important subject, and the conversation started, which you guys say on the back, is like the biggest thing. You always look back and say, if I had my time again, what would I do? And they're kind of still with me, and I still like every day, even with this stuff, like they're kind of front of mind. Even when I was designing and drawing, they're still front of mind. A lot of my other works as well, kind of elaborate on that. But it was, for a young male at the time, it kind of reset me. I feel like, I could feel that I wasn't happy where I was in my life, that I was doing something, maybe for someone else or the way society wants us to do, and to go be a designer or an artist or anything like that at the time was kind of like, this was only like 10 years ago, was kind of, like especially from being in a regional area, all my mates kind of, you got to do a trade, that's the way you got to do it, get the job, do a trade. So I went down that avenue, which, and I met a lot of great friends. All my friends still tradies, and when this big event happened to me, I think it was 21, when Josh passed away, that's when I decided, I was like, okay, I need to do something for myself. I need to put my what I want to do first. And not everyone was happy about it. Like, everyone's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, but like mum and dad, like, oh, what are you doing? But then I decided they were all fully embraced it after, they're really proud of me. And and then I went from there and was like, okay, I'm going to start doing what I want to do and start living my life, to my fullest potential. And so I started down this kind of got me to here, I guess, to, it's weird how it all works.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah, it all comes full circle, and it's just the way it goes, like we kind of like, you look back and you go, wow, that happened, but it all happens for a reason, and they're still with me.
And, Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. About that. It's really tough to lose someone that way, and but I can imagine that, like, what you said about like it being a reset for you, and it almost like deciding to dive into like more your arty graphic design side is like, I guess there's always that like fear of failure, and then I think when something like that happens, 100%. You're like, well. You're almost like, well, what? Like, I feel so low at the moment. Like, I'm sure if I come back and still do a trade, if I fail, it's
that's the thing. That's the thing. And those skills I learn for life. I still, I still use them, and I still, everything I learned on the job site and with my friends and everything like that, still with me. It's kind of funny for like, when you're 17, you finish school and you're thrown into this world of like, like men basically. And for me, I was still a bit of a dickhead. I was mucking around and I just didn't take anything seriously. And then you're thrown in that world, and then you got to learn fast. And, especially for, I was doing refrigeration at the time, and, they were like onto it, had to be onto it. And, it kind of makes you grow fast. And there was a lot of pressure, at the time, because you think, is this what I really want to do? And, and it's hard because,
and once you start down a path, you feel like you can't.
You feel like you're siloed, and you got to finish it, and you got to. But in saying that, everyone's got a choice what they want to do at the end of the day, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
and, we all have to, kind of work through what we want, because at the end of the day, we've only got one life, and everyone says, it sounds cliche, but that's the way it is. We only have one life, and we just need to make choices that make us happy at the end of the day. If something's not working, then you got to do what you got to do. So
true. Well, in your so what kind of conversations would you hope that this shirt starts on site?
Yeah, because like to me, it's very like very summary, and I think that's the kind of the fun with it as well. I like, you know, on the back, that was the main thing, you know, like, you know, I always, every time I see it now, I see people at the pub and stuff like that with, you know, this is a conversation starter. And I hope with this one as well, it just kind of gets people, it kind of gets the, because there's so many different elements to it, I guess. I hope they start talking about it, going, what the hell was he thinking there? What was he thinking there? Yeah. You know, and maybe the making up, like, you know, whatever they want.
It's always fun to hear what people think.
To hear what people think. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, everything's kind of what you kind of, how you perceive it. And I hope that's kind of the direction it goes down. You know, there's so many different things going on. They can start talking about whatever they want. But, you know, it's as long as people are talking, you know, and that's what it's all about.
Well, I think we've already had such great feedback and we haven't even released it.
And I think I'm happy about that.
It's such like a cheeky style and like it's kind of like like I was saying before, like it's kind of like a tattoo style. Like it's very like tradie in a way. Yeah.
It's very Australiana. That's what I put it as, you know, very Australiana. That's you know, that's kind of like the way I like to draw, and you know, it's everything with tongue in cheek and everything's a bit of fun, and you know, that's the thing of the colour as well. Keep it popping, you know, make it like, you know, make it kind of really shine on its own. So that was what it's all about. So
well, I guess it's kind of like the whole like duality that you were talking to. It's like kind of how in Australian culture, like the whole like the more you pay someone out, kind of like probably the closer mates you are with them. And
tell me about it. That's a me like it just never ends. So
it's like, you know, kind of that whole
exactly right. It is,
well.
It's about like the tongue in cheek and stuff like that behind it, and even, you know, the series, like when you start looking into it and you're saying, oh, what's going on here, you can kind of really get your own meaning from it as well. So that's what it's all about. So.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about it. It's like, it's just so cool to see it come to life. It must be, especially for you, from drawing all the different elements. Separately. It's like from where it's coming from a year ago, you know, I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, I'm kind of blown away. This is the first time I've seen it. So, you know, I've seen photos that you guys have sent me, but like to see it here in person, it's like, it kind of blows me away. I'm just really very grateful that you guys, you know, gave me this opportunity to be your first artist to kind of, you know, jump into it, and I'm really happy that you guys love it too. So, thank you so much.
No worries. Yeah, I hope everyone else loves it too.